Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Top 10 Tuesday episode. I believe this is episode 85. I'm not even 100% sure on that, I didn't look. I think it's 85, but for this week I am going to talk about my top 10 favorite Western horror films. Now, I've always said many times in the past that, especially on the podcast, I know me and JP have brought this up many times, that there isn't really a whole lot of Western themed horror films. I know there's been kind of a resurgence of them recently with the success of one specific one, and there's like a bunch of kind of copycat ones that came out too, but which is pretty cool to see. But there's one thing, it's just, they never really made a lot of these over the years. It's really kind of strange, but there is some. I obviously have enough to make a top 10 here, and I actually cut out a couple really terrible ones. So I actually did have more than 10, which I was quite surprised at. But so I thought this was a cool theme for this week, Western horror films. Yeah, I just wish they'd make a lot more. So without further ado, we'll get right into this. In at number 10, a film from 1975 called Inn of the Damned. This is a Australian flick. I've always been a big fan of this film. I do have a little bit of problems with this one. First off, the runtime is way too long. It runs just under 2 hours, which is just absolutely insane. But I think there is a pretty good film in here. I think it just needs to be shortened up quite a bit. Pretty cool film, basically about, you know, people that go to this inn where, you know, these people own it, and the guests just don't leave. And I think that's actually the tagline, I believe. Yes, guests check in but never check out. So yeah, this edition right here is the Cheesy Flicks edition. I know Code Red and Umbrella just put this out in a double features, so I need to upgrade from DVD to DVD. And yeah, for sure, because, you know, this transfer is very muddy. It's a really bad VHS transfer, so, you know, you get what you paid for. I think this one was only about $2.99 back in the day, so why not? Inn of the Damned, though, pretty cool film. Not the greatest one in the world. That is why it is at number 10, but it was good enough to make the list. So Inn of the Damned, Australian cinema right there. In at number 9 is a film from the 50s called The Beast of Hollow Mountain. This is a fun film. Now, the first like half of this film just plays out exactly like a Western. It's literally just about this guy. I think he's living in Mexico, and this kind of is doing his thing. And then all of a sudden these, you know, kind of dinosaurs and stuff appear. But yeah, the first like half of the movie, there's really no indication that, you know, if you didn't know what you're watching, you would never expect that dinosaurs were going to show up in the second half of the film. It's kind of like one of those type deals. It's pretty interesting, but it's got some pretty cool stop motion animation and stuff. But it's just kind of, it's an oddball. It's an oddball dinosaur flick from, I want to say 1956. So yeah, but yeah, really interesting film. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it's fun. It's a fun film. So The Beast of Hollow Mountain. In at number 9. In at number 8 is a film from the early 70s, I believe 73, something like that, and it's called Knife for the Ladies. And basically what this is a slasher film set in the, you know, in the Western world, and it's just basically about the sheriff and a couple of the guys are trying to track down this killer who is targeting prostitutes in very Jack the Ripper-ish type fashion. Knife for the Ladies. It's a pretty cool film. I really enjoyed this film, actually. I was really digging it. I was really into it and stuff. Some of the acting's kind of funny in this. I just love how some of these characters are just hammed it up so well. But very good set pieces and stuff, just like, you know, the other ones. Those ones totally feel like Westerns, too. This one, same type deal. Pretty cool. But a very interesting film. Knife for the Ladies, you know. I didn't even know about this film until Code Red had put it out, and I was just fascinated that this type of film came out in the early 70s, and there hasn't really been any more since, you know, slasher type-esque films based in the Western world. So maybe it's something that some filmmakers maybe are looking into now with the resurgence of the Western horror film. But this is an interesting film. I recommend it, though. Knife for Ladies. In at number 8. In at number 7 is another film from the 50s. This is a Mexican film, and it's called The Living Coffin. I did a full-length review for this, I believe, during the 31 Days of October, the Halloween one. I think it was during that month I did it. This is a pretty cool atmospheric film. It's basically about the crying woman legend. It's essentially what it is. If you're not familiar with that, just kind of look it up. I don't want to have to explain it, but there's tons of Mexican films based on the crying woman legend. And that's essentially what you're going to get with this one, but it is very atmospheric, very cool film. I had a lot of fun with this. Really cool set pieces. There's a really great bar scene. I believe the bar scene is in this film. I might be getting it mixed up with another one. Hope I'm not, but yeah, I love the Cowboy and Crazy Wolf. Crazy Wolf. Yeah, there's a lot of fight scenes and pretty cool stuff that's going on in this one, but Living Coffin, fun film. Definitely give it a shot. Cool stuff. That was in at number 7. In at number 6 is one that I just recently watched, actually. I've had this one in the collection for probably too long. I think since last year sometime anyways. And it is a film called Blood Moon. I'd picked this one up and I just kind of like put it on the shelf and forgot about it, to be honest. And when I was compiling this list, I'm like, wow, I need to watch Blood Moon. So I checked this out last week. This is really good. This was actually a lot better than I was anticipating it to be. Basically about these two groups that kind of come together. These criminals take this other group hostage, and of course there is werewolves involved, so you know what you're going to kind of get with this one. But very cool pieces, man. I like the costumes in this. The effects, I love the look of the wolf, though, man. The werewolf was fantastic in this. It looked really good. Some really good gore effects and practical effects and things like that, which ultimately surprised me the most. I was expecting a CG fest, pretty much by this cover. I mean, it's not really the greatest cover art. It does look like something that would be CGI filled, but no, lo and behold, this one actually had some pretty cool pieces. Some good acting in it. Also, I thought this chick was actually really cool, the older one. I thought she was fantastic in it, actually. Yeah, some pretty cool characters in this one. I was quite impressed with this. So, Blood Moon, yeah. In at number 6? Yeah, number 6. In at number 5 is just a fantastic film. And it's called Dead Birds. And this one is from, the mid-2000s, I want to say. 2004, yeah. And this one is set in the Civil War era. And basically about these criminals that just robbed a bank take refuge in this house where some crazy shit starts going down. They're trying to flee to Mexico, and they stop off at this house for some rest, and yeah, shit goes down. This is a cool film, man. This is another one that really caught me off guard back in the day. I remember picking this one up as a blind buy and not knowing anything about it. I don't even think I read the synopsis on it. I just popped it in thinking it was going to be something to do with birds, like dead birds. I don't know. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. I mean, basically what I'm saying is I didn't know it was a Western horror film, but Dead Birds, very, very cool film. I had just a blast of this. It's definitely one I want to revisit soon. So, and I think I'm actually going to be revisiting this one very soon, maybe on a future podcast. So yeah, Dead Birds. In at number 5. In at number 4 is a film that I absolutely fell in love with the first time I saw it, and that is The Burrowers. Very, very cool creature feature. Awesome set, awesome locations, cool costumes and stuff in this one. Basically about a group of people that are trying to find these people that went missing, and they go out on this journey, and they come across some certain creatures that live in the ground. Yeah, this is another really cool one, and if you haven't seen The Burrowers, give it a shot, man. It's just fantastic. Another film that I just didn't know what to expect when I first watched it, but I did know, obviously, this one was a Western horror film way back in the day when it came out. When did it come out? 2008. Yeah, I remember this bad boy came out. But yeah, The Burrowers, very, very cool film. Check it out. Good stuff. And that was in at number 4. In at number 3 is one that I finally got to see. I'd never seen this film until Scream Factory put it out. I wanted it for years, and it's no other than Ghost Town. This is a fun film. I actually watched this about 3 or 4 times after I first got it. Very cool stuff about a guy that kind of gets time warped into the Wild West, chasing these criminals, and now he's got to figure out a way to get out of there, solve these crimes and shit. It's awesome. It's really fun. I love the acting in this film. Cracks me up. The set pieces are fantastic. It's totally just done like on sound stages and stuff. I believe the set used in this was, oh shit, I think I talked about it before. I can't remember what was used. Someone probably fill me in on that one, but I can't remember. But I know the set was used in another film actually. But yeah, Ghost Town, very cool effects. It's it's kind of cheesy. It's from 1988, so it's kind of what you expect from the time and stuff. But look at that tagline: the good, the bad, the satanic. Come on, it's awesome with that cover art, fantastic. Actually, to be honest, man, I'm a really big fan of this reverse art, and I know a lot of people have actually reversed this around. I think this is really cool too. Look at that reverse art, fantastic stuff. But yeah, you know what you're getting yourself into. 80s cheese right here, but super fun stuff. In at number 3. In at number 2 is just an amazing film all around. The acting in this film in Ravenous is just awesome. It's just so good. Guy Pearce, Robert Carlyle, Jeremy Davis, Jeffrey Jones, David Arquette, among people, man. I think there's a couple other ones in there. Just, it's really well acted. The costumes in this are fantastic. it's a really interesting cannibal film. About these guys that are on this rescue mission and then are getting basically hunted down by this cannibal. Yeah, if you've never seen this one, go into it not knowing too much. I mean, the tagline kind of says it all. You are who you eat. Pretty cool stuff, but this is just an amazing, amazing film. I saw this film when it first came out in 1999, and I was just floored by this one. I was very surprised when Scream Factory put this out because, it's just a readily available DVD and stuff, but it is what it is. In at number 2, and in at number 1, of course, is Bone Tomahawk, man. I just watched this again recently because I finally got the Blu-ray, and I have to say I liked it a lot better the second time around. I can understand why people do find this film a little bit boring because it is long. It's 132 minutes, and I feel like the consensus is in the middle. People kind of get a little bored because it does take a long time to get to that third act. But when the third act does start, it's pretty fucking wild. It's crazy. The effects are awesome. But, honestly, this film is just a blast throughout the whole thing. I think the acting is fantastic. I love the characters in this film, man. Kurt Russell's fantastic. I love the, I'm not sure what the guy's name, maybe it's Matthew Fox. Is that what his name is? The racist guy, this guy right here, the Indian killer anyways, but he's fucking fantastic in this film. He's just, I love that character because, they actually end up giving the reason why he hates Indians so much and stuff, and it's just like, okay, it kind of makes sense. He's just such a bastard about it. But yeah, just the locations, the effects, the acting, the music, everything about this film is just really, really fantastic. Like, when you first start watching this film, you feel like you're watching a Western. It feels like that, and then it kind of turns full, does a 180 on you in the last 30-40 minutes of the film. It gets nuts, and it's just crazy good effects and stuff. So Bone Tomahawk, absolutely love that film. I think it's really, really fantastic, really well done, and I think it's really cool that Kurt Russell was actually in 2 Western films in the same year. Pretty cool. Awesome. But yeah, that is going to do it for my top 10. I'll do a quick little recap here. In at number 10, we got Into the Damned. In at number 9, we got The Beast of Hollow Mountain. Number 8, Night for the Ladies. Number 7, The Living Coffin. Number 6, Blood Moon. Number 5, Dead Birds. Number 4, The Burrowers. Number 3, Ghost Town. Number 2, Ravenous. And of course, Bone Tomahawk in at number 1. And it's not very often that like a brand new film makes a number 1 on one of my lists. It's very, very strange. So that is going to do it for this top 10, guys. If you have any recommendations of Western horror films that I do not know about, there is a bunch that I just haven't mentioned on here that I'm not even going to bother mentioning. So if you have some, just leave your comments down below. Tell me what your favorites are. And of course, make sure to go check out everyone else's videos this week. I'm not sure what everyone else is doing. I know this is kind of one of those weeks where everyone's just kind of mixing up again. But go check out their videos. And as usual, peace out, my brothers and sisters. Yeah.